Hi, it's Megan. So I am doing another perfume review, and these are the hardest reviews for me to do just because, you know, you've got to take a scent and you've got to first of all identify what's in it, and then you have to actually describe it, which I don't know. I feel like scents are so emotional. There's just certain things that you just pick up on subconsciously that you just kind of say, wow, you know, that just affects me emotionally and I love it. And so I find with my own scent purchases and loves and whatever that there's not necessarily always a certain amount of, there's some consistency, but then there are like these wild card, crazy, random things. So this is the new YSL Black Opium, and I always do a little research before I do the videos, and I had just done absolutely every last little bit of research on this particular video, and the one thing I needed to check was the pricing on the different sizes, and my computer just completely froze up and I had to restart it. And so I only have the price on the 1.6 ounce because I got frustrated, which is $19. 19, we wish, right? $90. So this is the YSL Black Opium. This is exclusive to Sephora and the YSL site for now. These things can change. So it comes in a bottle like this. This is the 1 ounce, which I don't remember what I paid for. I think it was $70, but the 1.6 is $90. And it comes in 0.33 ounce and a 3 ounce as well. And this has been selling out, which is how I kind of got suckered. Well, I got suckered into it for 2 reasons. One, it keeps selling out, and I got an email from YSL saying just sold out in a couple days, back in stock. Do you want one? Of course, yeah, I did. And then also it has coffee in it, which they make this great, wonderful sales pitch about how it's the first time coffee has been used in such intensity in a commercial scent. And coffee's like my soft spot. So, oh well, one new perfume for me. So I do really like the packaging. I think it's just plain adorable. Do I like the regular red opium packaging? Yeah, it's cute, but I think this black one is way cuter. And like I said, for now, it's only on the YSL site when it's available, and the Sephora site, though it does keep selling out, especially at that 1 ounce size. So they say it's a new, highly addictive, feminine fragrance from YSL, Yves Saint Laurent. Black is not a color, but an attitude. Fascinating and seductively intoxicating. The opening notes of adrenaline-rich coffee and the sweet sensuality of vanilla recline into the softness of white flowers for a modern, young, and vibrant interpretation of addiction. Get your dose. So the notes are coffee accord, orange blossom, cedarwood essence, patchouli essence. The style is addictive, floral, and energetic. I have it on now. I actually really like this. It doesn't smell at all, to me, like the original Opium, which I do like, but the original Opium to me is just a very heavy, oriental, exotic kind of floral. This YSL's perfumes, even the very soft and feminine Paris, to me feel a little bit sensual and exotic anyway, which kind of fits the brand, right? There are pictures of him in Marrakesh and whatever in the 60s. So I get that feel, and he's got the patchouli and the cedarwood in this one to give it kind of a complexity and a depth and kind of that oriental exoticism. Although honestly, I have to say, I can barely make out, I don't know that I can make out, it's a more accurate way of saying the cedarwood essence. I do get there's like a richness and a depth, but to me it smells more like a richness and an exoticness and a depth from patchouli as opposed to cedarwood. But that's just what I make out. It does smell like vanilla coffee. Totally agree with that, but not like the cheap version. You know, these are expensive accords in a high-end perfume like this. But I can definitely smell the vanilla, that rich, slightly bitter sweetness of mixing coffee with vanilla. But to me, it feels like, this is crazy, but to me it feels like a Comptoir Sud Pacific kind of a perfume, where I can't smell coconut exactly, but I can smell that coconut feel, that warmth, that, I don't know if you've smelled the Comptoir Sud Pacific smells, but they have that sweet richness to them, and I can smell a little bit in this one. even though this has no coconut, but a lot of those do have vanilla. And I couldn't find it when I was searching on the internet before my internet froze up, but I do seem to remember that Comptoir Sud Pacific had done a fragrance with some coffee in it, just a little bit, although they tend to do more coconut and chocolate. The flowers in this, they say orange blossom. To me, it smelled a little bit, I can never pronounce these things, that tiare flower, T-I-A-R-E, that you get in kind of the Pacific Island area and a lot of those boutique scents. But I can see orange blossom too, because it has that same kind of sharp sweetness, if that makes sense. And I actually have an essence of orange blossom and I've been playing around with it myself. And there is something to it which to me is just a really beautiful, full, honeysuckle has a sweeter element, but it's the same kind of scent, which is like this really a sharp, super sweet, but that sharpness keeps it from getting cloying kind of feel to it. I also felt like it had not rose exactly, but the feel of like a rose thing, which has that depth in that white floral. What else did I say? I think that's all I said. So I said surprisingly subtle, given how sweet it is. I'm going to start coughing now. And it wears about 8 to 10 hours on me, but it's not like a really strong wear. It comes on when I first spray it on, definitely sweeter and stronger, and I don't want to say overpowering like the original Opium, but it does definitely come on a little strong when I first spray it on, but then I feel like it fades away to kind of a much more sophisticated, still rich, still sweet floral, but just a little bit softer in how it kind of strikes me. I've been wearing it for a while now, and the coffee I think also dies down a little bit in its powerfulness, but it becomes again more complex and richer. Maybe, I think this is fair to say, after about an hour or two, I can smell a little bit more of the cedar, but when I first spray it on, it's kind of masked by some of these more overpowering scents in the perfume. I do want to say, my daughter doesn't like this. She does not like anything that smells like a French perfume. It's 100% consistent. She gets it every time. And so I would say if you don't like French perfumes, as much as some of the elements in this might not sound like your traditional French perfume sort of a thing, she hits it out of the, she's 100% consistent on picking out the perfumes that are French and just not liking them. So if you like French perfumes, it's a good thing. If you don't, it's a bad thing. She likes Italian, she likes American, she likes Asian, she likes everything, just not French. Anyway, so that's all I have to say. I actually really like it. Is it my favorite? No, it is not my favorite. And the reason why it's not my favorite is that I think it lacks the kind of simple sophistication of some of the softer YSL scents, like Paris, for example, which I find to be much more interesting. And then I think also where my daughter's right is that French perfumes sometimes can be a little too overpowering, especially when you first spray them on. And this one doesn't cross the line by a lot, but like I think Opium for me crosses it maybe this much. This one crosses it maybe this much, but it does cross the line a little bit if you're sensitive to that. So that is all I have to say about this perfume. I would love to hear thoughts or comments, and please subscribe on YouTube. It actually does help me a lot if you subscribe on YouTube, so I would appreciate if you did. Anyway, that's it. Thanks, and end of video.